Stream Deck. And I'm vlogging it too. Gas showed up. What's happening?
Yeah.
Someone doesn't sound too sure about that. He's so mad.
I was driving, bro. I had 430.
What's happening? We back again. This
What's
is
going
Eating
on?
Everything Podcast, where we know everything about nothing. We are your hosts, Moan, Zoe, Ralph. We are back again. What's happening, fellas?
What's going on?
It do.
Call me Cinder Slayer.
What's that? What's that?
You can call me Cinder Slayer.
Oh, so you didn't change it up for us.
I mean, you know, I'm shooting at night.
So what's the alter ego? Is it an alter ego to it, or is it just a thing that you want to be called something different, or you just, give us a little synopsis of it?
Okay. Well, my name back in the day, I made my own anime with my best friend. My name was Logan Sinjo, right? So as I got older, I cut the Sinjo part to Sin. And when I started playing games like first-person shooters, it was Sin the Slayer because I couldn't put Sinjo on there. So I was like Sin the Slayer because it was appropriate because first-person shooters, slaying, etc. So it stuck with me. So from PlayStation first game, I think it was first Call of Duty. I think it was the first Call of Duty. I was Sin the Slayer. I got screenshots of me and Ralph going a couple of matches too from back in the day. But
That's
yeah. So that's where Sin the Slayer came from. Is I couldn't put Sinjo, I couldn't do anything like that. So I was like, fuck it, I'll be Sin the Slayer because it fits when it comes to the type of games I like to play. So,
Bro, and as long as I've been playing the game with you now, that just sticks. That's just you now, bro.
yeah.
Gotta do my ritual. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go ahead and pull up.
Gotta pull. What you want today? What's that?
This is the peach this time, man.
Okay,
Last week it was the regular crown. The week before that it was the peach. As you can tell, I love the peach. But it's my ritual with my guys because this is what we would do if we was in person, right? You know what I'm saying?
You already know.
Anyway. So we're gonna start it off like we usually do. Let's talk about this week before we get into it. Till we get to the potatoes. Let's talk about it this week. What happened with you this week, Mo?
So it was very eventful. Yesterday was our drop and dash baby shower. So of course I got one on the way, right?
Hey.
And it was a good turnout. It was a safe turnout for a lot of people, a lot of folks. Because of the virus and everything and what's going on. So we just wanted people to stop by, say hi to us, drop off gifts, do what the usual when you do, except you just don't stay, right? Just want to keep everybody safe. I mean, I'm vaccinated, my entire family's vaccinated. People that came over were vaccinated. And what's cool was my high school principal came. She's like a mini, because she's a teacher, she taught, but she was our principal when we went to the high school we went to. But she's like a little celebrity in the city as far as kids and us and our generation, right?
Facts.
So when you see her, because I don't want to put her name out there, when you see her name, and it's like, oh man, I can't believe it's such and such. So I posted the pictures of her again in Facebook, and everybody she's just loved everywhere. So I was happy to see her. I was happy to see her. A lot of friends, a lot of people came by. Our buddy Solo came by, of course, the one that has the clothing design. Everything, it was a good turnout. Secondly, I kept telling Ralph I need a new phone. So I picked up the Galaxy S22.
S22,
right?
Yeah.
So I went and got it or whatever.
I saw that update on our Google account.
What's that?
I saw that update in our Google account.
Oh, okay. So then I also picked up the watch. So I went and got the watch at the same time.
Shit, you flossed with the watch, boy.
What's funny is I got stories with the watch, right? So I've had about 2 or 3 smart watches, maybe 4. First one was the Motorola. The last 2 were like the Samsung one. But the recent one I had, I paid all this money for it, and I broke it within 3 months.
Oh
I
God.
was pissed. So
Yeah.
hopefully I don't do it this time. And I did it while I was cutting the grass. I was cutting the grass and it got hooked on because I got a backpack blower and it got hooked on the arm and it snatched the watch off. It hit the bottom of the concrete and it cracked the heartbeat sensor on the bottom. So it worked for a while until I started sweating and then watching it work no more. So I spent all that money for that watch and I just said, you know what? I'll just either get another Samsung phone or I just don't buy a watch. That was it.
Welcome back to Samsung, by the way.
I guess. Oh yeah, I did have OnePlus for a while, right?
Yeah, you was tripping. You was tripping. Yo, real quick, my friend's in here all the way from Germany. And Mo, you know who she is. This is Samantha, man.
Samantha, what's
We went to school
happening?
with. She's now living in Germany, of course. You know what I'm saying? She's got a beautiful family. I'm happy you slid through to say what's up, man. Means a lot. We miss you too.
Definitely.
It's been a long time. Been a long
Where have
time.
you
over
been?
10
You just
years.
vanished off the face of the earth, and you are like with all the technology you got out now. You are so close, but yet so far. But you can
Facts.
always hit us up on Facebook, video chat us. We miss you. It's been years, right?
Facts. A minute.
So, Zoe, I think don't Zoe know Samantha?
I think he would know if he saw her. I don't think he
Okay.
knew Samantha like that. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Zoe, was you frozen?
Zoe
That
got
man
sniped.
turned into a popsicle. Damn.
All right, well, if you can hear us, big dog, hop out and hop back in.
That's
So
it,
it's over
man.
for you.
Reset.
All right, well, while we waiting on Zoe, I guess I'll shoot Ashley. Hey, what's happening? He got the brown. A lot of us do. Brown never lets you down.
You're right. And when I'm on that brown, it goes down. You feel me?
So I guess while we're in the zone, we give you this quick snippet. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page or haven't, check. So again, we would like for you guys to like, subscribe, comment down on our page. Come visit us anytime. You can also reach us on our webpage. It's at the bottom. And this time we kind of decided we're going to keep the webpage flowing at the bottom so you guys can always see it and go to it. So, and we got other things to talk about on our page too. So, please stand by for that. So other than that was my week. What about you guys?
Zoe, go for it, big dog. I know he got big news too.
Well, I've been managing the second shift of my plant for about a good month, and I got recognized with a certificate and a gift card this week, which is dope.
Nice.
Because
congratulations, homie.
I've been doing it long, right?
No, just a month. I've been a manager a month, and I'm changing the culture of everything and everybody that works for me. So I've been training people, doing things that people aren't used to doing, and people are expanding their skills. At the same time, we're becoming more efficient. I preach efficiency on anything that I do. So we've been a lot more efficient, less loss, which is always good for plants. And I'm just glad to be recognized. So now they want me in on a couple of their owner meetings and things like that. So I have a little bit more responsibility. So hopefully the pay will come, another pay increase will come with all the responsibility they want me to do. So that was pretty dope.
Talking about pay increase within a month. Woo!
Yeah.
You the man. Hey, show me how to pull that off.
Man, I'm just working my butt off, dog. Working my butt off, man.
So Ralph, you got some big news. Go ahead, give it out.
All right, man. So as I told you last week, sold our house. And yesterday we got our offer accepted. We got everything funded. We went ahead and sent the due diligence, dog. We got a new house, man. We got a new house. Our house is coming.
Congratulations.
We will be moving in. Hopefully at the end of April, sometime May. We were going to try to move in April, but I think we're going to rent this house out in May so we can go ahead and get the upgrades done to the new house before we move in, because it's easier to do when it's unoccupied. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, while you're not living there.
Yeah, I got a lot of things I want to get done. You know what I'm saying? So pictures coming soon.
Which one do to the house?
What I'm going to do to that house?
Yeah.
We're going to rip up all the carpet. We'll be doing all hardwood floors, new cabinets. We're going to do paint. Robert don't know, but I want to get the garage epoxy. But
you got your game room?
Bruh, got a game. I got my game. I'm a man cave back, bruh. And everybody's happy, right? I get my man cave back. The wife get an office. All the kids get their own room. We get our own room, and then we got a sitting area. And, it's a huge step up from where we are now. You know what I'm
That's dope.
saying? And
That's real dope, man.
just moves we needed to make for the family, man. I appreciate all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people was praying for me, pushing me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy everything worked out the way it did. You know, I know it wouldn't have happened without my wife because she did a lot of the legwork getting stuff done because, you know, I'm always at work.
Well, guess
Yeah,
what you're
I'm
going to be
coming home,
doing?
all I gotta do is sign.
All of the leg work when it comes to remodeling.
No,
So
no,
your
no,
time
no.
coming.
No.
He said
I'm
no.
trying to get this done before we move in. And
No,
I'm gonna
it
pay for
never
that.
stops. It
I'm
never
gonna pay for
stops.
that. Listen, I'm gonna pay for that. I'm gonna start working on stuff once we move in and stuff break. But until then, I'm gonna let them have it.
Okay, so
Let them do
number one, shout out to T, and number two, why are you telling us you hungry?
it.
Go eat.
Go get you something to eat. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, T. Thanks, Vizzle. Thanks, Sam. I appreciate y'all. Really do. But with that being said, man, let's get into, you know, what we came here to do, which is
Understanding
shit.
the differences.
So-
Understanding the difference.
this kind of came up last week, you know, in the last podcast talking about the understanding of the differences. When, you know, I fully said myself that women didn't have any game. All right, we had two amazing and beautiful women on here last weekend, Ashley and Lauren.
Yeah, shout out to Ashley and Lauren.
Man,
We appreciate y'all. People love y'all.
they did the damn thing. Let me tell you, my
Yeah.
phone blew up. They was like, yo, y'all need to put them on as regulars. So I really appreciate you ladies. But you know, that was one of the things we were talking about. We were talking about, you know, females not having game versus having game now. And I will admit when I was wrong. Lauren turned my head around with the whole thing. You know what I mean? And it's because back then, you know, we always had to chase naturally. You know, we all agreed that we always had to chase. And now we don't have to anymore. You know, like
But they
Lauren
still ain't
said,
got
we're
no
starting
game,
to realize our worth. So it ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. As much as, you know, women like to say, all I had to do is sit there and stare and bat my eyes and look pretty. You did, but that wasn't game. Now you got to have game, especially for those that's in the dating world now, which the dating world sucks.
Dig.
What? You know what? I'm saying you should have been here last week, Samantha. You should have been here last week because I'd have shut you down immediately because you don't have game. But I mean, you didn't have game. Let me take
Well,
that back.
no.
You didn't have game.
You are correct. They still don't have game, but
Like I
we're
said,
not getting back into that. We're not getting back into that.
we're
But
not gonna
it
go
hasn't
back down this
changed
road. 'Cause
anything.
That was
Right.
a fun road that we traveled.
Lauren was special mentality.
Facts.
Yeah, you ain't messing with her mental. She was set.
Man, let me tell you.
right now.
Had me questioning everything I knew.
Right,
I'm like,
right.
damn, maybe they do have game. Maybe I've been wrong this whole time.
Nope, you wasn't.
But
neither here nor there.
but either
Well,
way,
you know what?
we're talking
I
about the
think we're
differences
gonna-
back then and now, right?
Yeah.
That's the differences. That's what we're talking about today. Is back then and now. How things are completely different for us now than it was back then, and how things have been completely different all around the board. And perfect example, the quickest example, and the example that everybody knows of, especially if you are our age and in here. Back then, it didn't matter where you was, your parent was gonna bust your ass. You act up in the store, your ass
Discipline
is
was a
grass.
big factor back then.
You talk back, your ass is grass.
Mm-hmm.
You speak without being spoke to, you're gonna get busted in the lip.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter if you was in the mall, the grocery store, around friends, did not matter. Now, shit, the whole neighborhood will call the police on your ass.
Man.
Now, with that being said, I don't care. I don't care. If my kid is out of pocket, you don't have to call the people on me. That's how I was raised. And it worked. I never thought that I'd be able to call my parents and thank them for the ass whoopings I got. But I get it. I completely get
What's
it.
up,
I got
Dre?
it.
Dre back in here. Dre, you missed it last week, dog. We had a nice episode last week. But whatever. Back to you. So I will say, dog, I'm gonna hurt some feelings here right now. So me, I was disciplined a little different. You would never know that I never had a whooping in my life.
What?
A beating, none of that. And
Wow.
I never. So my mom, she used to be out there, right? Back in those days.
Right.
And there was an incident where I was with her. I was young. I don't remember this, but she tell me the story all the time. Where this what made her change her life, and when she became a minister, that she was with someone that was a dealer, and he pulled out a shotgun on my mom, and I was a little itty bitty boy, and I came in the kitchen. I walked in front of it, and it was something. My mother was telling me it was something of stolen his stuff or whatever he had. It was missing, and he was blaming it on them, and he pulled out a gun on him. And ever since then, my mom changed, and the result of that was, son, I don't want you out there in the streets. So she shielded me from a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I didn't really do or get in trouble with until I was 18 and I was smelling myself and I was out there. But all my friends, beatings left and right. I remember one incident, I think DeForest is on here, where we came from football practice and he got his behind snatched off, put back on, and snatched off again. And I think he used to get beat with everything. It was whatever his pops grabbed or his mom grabbed, and they hit him with it.
I was the same way though. You know what I'm saying? I was the same way. My mom didn't hold no bars, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, she didn't abuse me, but when I was little, I thought it was abuse. Bro, I mean, my mom used to call my mom Zorro, bro. My mom used to take her belt off and swing all in one motion.
Man, think about it like this though. My father was a police officer. I come from a police background, right? So my father, my grandfather, my uncle, my mom, even my grandma was for a second. It was to the point where I would get in trouble. My father would pull up in a scout car at Hampton and beat my ass in front of everybody as a police officer. And as we as black kids did not like police officers. So, your dad is a cop? Oh my God. Not only is he a cop, he's beating your ass in school. And the principal would just sit there and let him. Mr. Brazil let him.
The biggest confusion to me was when he got in trouble, because I'm like, what the fuck did he do to have the cops come up here to beat his ass and leave? Like, I didn't know that was his dad.
Hold on. You was able to witness that?
Fuck,
everybody did. Everybody did.
Who didn't?
Man.
But listen, I was so confused because I'm like, yo, this motherfucker. I once again, I wasn't that cool with Zoe at that point in time. Man. I'm like, this thing's got to be some outrageous thug. He's got to be a killer, known in the streets, because the cops come up here just to beat his ass.
That's the worst.
How about that? I was a 4.0 student, 3.8 at the least, right? So it wasn't my grades. It was always the fact that somebody fucked with me. And when somebody would fuck with me, they knew how to be sneaky. I've never been the sneaky type, so I can't be sneaky and I can't lie. Like, it's something that I just can't do. So I get in trouble about something and they'll be fine because they can lie, they can be sneaky, and they can do what they do. And then I'd be like, wow. And then next thing you know, Lorenzo, go to the principal's office. Come on, man. I'm sorry. Nope.
Facts.
Nope. Please.
I
would go straight there. Hey, Ralph, do you remember what was it, 5th or 6th grade spelling bee? It was like the national spelling bee. I got disqualified because who was it? It was one of them people. She fucking pinched me. When she pinched me, I kind of like brushed her off.
Dominique.
It was somebody.
Oh wow,
mad as fuck. So I was like the last 10 people.
You mad
now? Whole
now?
grade, bro. I forgot the story. You see this? She pinched me, and she pinched and twisted, broke skin and everything. So I kind of moved her out the way a little bit. I got disqualified from the whole spelling bee. Not only did I get disqualified, I got walked to the fucking principal's office, and guess who comes up here?
Yep,
my father in his fucking police car. Wait, with his partner. And my father and his partner, they were big dudes. So they just walk into school, and I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. So he's sitting there, beat my ass. His partner sitting there like this. And I'm like, oh, here we go. And I get my ass whooped in front of everybody again.
I thought he was going to prison. I'm like, this man got his ass whooped at least 3 or 4 times. I'm pretty sure the cops are tired of coming to visit.
Well, why did you make your dad come up there all these times to come and handle you?
He didn't have to. His dad didn't have to.
No, he didn't have to.
His dad worked up the way at the police precinct.
I worked up. Look, I went to school.
You stupid. You playing bad around the corner now?
But I wasn't bad. I didn't. That's the crazy part. He would get in trouble for the dumbest shit, but his pops was like, "Well, I had to come up here. I might as well be some ass on here."
Just give off a beating.
Mr. Brazil, however you say his name, Mr. Brazil.
Anyway.
But he used to call him on purpose because he knew my father was down the street at the precinct, and he knew that he would come up here and handle me. And you gotta think, I was a big bad motherfucker. I wasn't like outrageous. Like he was outspoken when I was just quiet and strong, the big strong type, right? Didn't do a lot of shit at all. But they would break the fuck out of me when my father came up here, and that was the only time I would have my little show of weakness. Man, he would whoop my ass, man. My father, he gave me a
Yeah,
couple
see,
good ones. He gave me a
yeah,
couple
see,
good ones.
I don't have those experiences because my mom shielded me. Like I used to go outside all the time, but then I had to come in. Everybody else used to have to stay out, and then I had video games that kind of kept me busy, growing up. And I loved it so much. Excuse me, I didn't want to be away from it, So
Mhm.
and then that's when Blockbuster came into play, right? So you
Mhm.
go up there, you can rent whatever,
Ooh,
or
you're showing
Family
your
Video.
age.
Yes, though we got Family Video story. We got Family Video, and I used to rent all the stuff. I used to beat them in 3 days, or sometimes 2, and then take them back. So but that was my story. But growing, once I got 18 and I started smelling myself, I'm like, oh man, I'm grown. She didn't have to whoop me. I was getting in my trouble myself, especially being with y'all and we speeding and getting tickets and getting our cars taken and
Oh boy,
getting
We're gonna get to
arrested.
that story here in just a few.
I can't wait to hear it.
We're gonna get
Wait,
there. What's
to
good, Nene? What up, though? Loke, how you doing? Happy
Oh, Tony,
birthday
what's
again.
happening?
What up,
Yesterday
though?
was Tony's birthday.
Yeah,
Oh,
Happy
yeah,
that
birthday,
was
happy
dog.
birthday,
my
big
road
dog.
dog. That's the only guy that was as big as me in fucking elementary, dog. The only
Facts.
guy.
Facts.
Yes,
Tony's been the
Going
same
on,
size since the
and
fifth
I can
grade.
still put my foot up his ass, but we ain't gonna talk about
man.
it.
Tony was the first guy that actually slammed me in the
I remember
school.
that.
Yep,
I
the
remember
first
that.
guy.
Oh, you should have never told me that.
Dog,
I ain't gonna
Hey,
leave with that.
listen.
As soon as I see
Here's
all
the
the
thing,
night.
though. Here's the thing, though. They both slammed each other.
yeah,
I
yep,
never forget that.
yeah. It was
That was
it
on the
was-
Hampton
it
Middle
was the
side.
I
same-
can't wait
yeah.
till you come and visit,
Yep.
Ralph, because I'm gonna pitch y'all against each other
It
like
was-
this. Then
it
you gonna
was the-
slam
it
them
was the
now.
same
That was back
time.
then.
It was the same time, but it was the first
Oh,
person
shit.
that ever got me. I was sitting there like, ain't this about a bitch? And then the whole
Hey.
fucking playground went, oh, because I got
Yeah.
fucking beat. And I was
Yeah.
like, man,
So
you ain't lose,
Lavor's
but you
right,
got
right?
slammed, dog.
So Lavor's right. This is what we used to do. This is how
Bro,
immature
he
we was.
never lied, bro.
So we owed all the video games. So we used to take the video game rentals and never take them back. We would rent them out.
Bro, we rented like 15 games at one point in time.
And
I
they
think
was
that was the
ours.
last time we rented. We rented a bunch of fucking games, and we never took that shit back. And then they went out of business.
I'm gonna say, and wonder why. Because I still got a whole bunch of the same little fucking Blockbuster things with the little sleeve and shit that came
Yep.
in there. Yep. I did the same thing. I would.
You
when
still
I
got that
old
now?
enough- Yes.
Dog,
I
gotta
got
get one
a
of them.
whole folder full of all the old games. I showed you some of them.
Yeah.
I got like 3 folders full of old games, and some of them got the old sleeves and shit like that. Still.
I still want
Dog.
that Marvelous Capcom 2 from you.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I need to get that up off you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can bid on that.
You stay here.
Hey, I wanna pull out I wanna point out what Alex just said, right? Because she said her dad whooped her one time, but her mom, on the other hand, probably went ham. And that was the same situation with me, right? But with Alex, I'm pretty sure, you had your mom and your dad in the same house, right? Most of y'all did. My mom and dad, separated. So I had an ass whooping when I got home, and then a scheduled ass whooping
Mm-hmm.
that was never told to me when the schedule was gonna pop, right? My pops would hit me with the voice on the phone. Hey, so when I see you,
It's going down.
I'm gonna whoop your ass, right? And I'm like, shit, okay. Well, maybe that'll be next weekend because that's the weekend I'm supposed to go over there. So I'm thinking I'm good. I already got my ass whooping from my mom. I'm good for a couple days. Nope, motherfucker will slide up on a random ass day. Ring the doorbell. My mom knew it was him. She was like, hey, go open the door. I'm like, you'll never let me open the door. Cool. I get to go open the door. I open the door. My pops didn't say shit. He just, I'm like, so you
And
just
he
gonna
had everything
orchestrate
that was in
everything
his
across
lane.
my ass right now.
He had everything that was in his lane.
Everything, dog. It was like the E Honda 10,000 hand slap, bro. He just came in slapping me like this.
Dog. Funny story. I just did that shit to Alex, dog. He thought he got away with some shit, so he got in trouble with his mama. His mama. He got she went to work on him. But my son's a big dude, so he just be like, when she pop him something, he don't give a fuck. He be like, oh,
Don't hurt.
oh, okay, all right, I was like, son, me and you gonna have a conversation. He was like, oh, not that conversation, Dad. I'm like, oh yeah. He was like, when are we having this conversation? I said, we gonna have this conversation.
Bro,
Oh.
see that shit right there is worse
I
than the
pulled up-
actual whooping itself.
Yeah, because I pulled up on him at 6:30 a.m. and woke him up out the bed.
Yeah, that's because you leave him in suspense, and then
Yeah.
they got to think about that all the time.
So when
That's
he
that bullshit.
opened his eyes, he saw me standing over him. The fear in his eyes, the fear.
See,
Yeah.
Boy,
See, I got ADHD, right? So I forget shit quick. It was a couple times where, my dad would pop up and I'm like, oh shit, my dad's here. And then then he start walking towards me and I'm like, oh shit, my dad's here. And then I know I'm in trouble. You know what I'm saying? That's when I know the ass was getting ready to commence. Yes, Tony has saved me from a plethora of ass whoopings.
What did he do? Jump in front of the belt?
No. He helped me lie, and he helped the lie stay strong. That's what he did.
That's how you preserve.
That was my. Hey, listen, that was my backup. I'm like, but it wasn't ass Tony. You could ask Tony without me even being there. And me and Tony was always on the same wavelength, so I wasn't worried about it. I knew I kind of always had an idea of what he was gonna say, and then I was like, "See, I tried to tell you." And I don't know what it was. My mom didn't think that Tony would ever say anything wrong. She thought this
Oh, it's
man, he
always
might
good to
have
have
had
one
on
of those
the,
friends. You can escape anything.
bruh, I'm trying to tell
I
you,
was with
this man
such and
saved my
such.
life.
Oh, okay, it's cool.
This man saved my life.
So,
But once again, that's the difference right now, right? Back then,
well, that's one of the differences, yeah, because you can't now. When the situation happens in school, you have to tell, and we ain't grow up on that. You know what I'm saying? And it's completely different now. Like you can literally get in trouble if you do it yourself compared to when we did it back in the day.
yeah.
Okay. So it's hard to teach that because me, I grew up on somebody touch you touch them back.
Hey.
Period.
Hey,
but if
that's the only
somebody
time I
touch
didn't get
you
ass
now, even though they initiated it, guess what? You touch him back, you and him would be expelled. And
Yep.
I'm sitting here like, what? Oh my goodness. So it's kind of like one of those things where you got to think, right? Do I got to teach him the rest of this stuff when he gets out of school?
Right,
Or
LeBron.
do I continue to teach him and try to finesse it in between where he can get away with it? So you sometimes you got to utilize the defense of, I mean, he had no choice. He kept pressing up against him. He had to fight back, but he still will get suspended. Period. Still will get suspended. So now I have to go through the whole thing of just tell the teacher, and it burns my soul every time. Like,
Who you
he touch
telling?
you, all right, go tell the teacher. I'll
Who
teach
you
you how to
telling,
fight
bro?
another day.
Bro, listen, my kid, bro, the youngest is always ready to throw hands. The oldest one was like, well, they hit me and I don't want them to hit me. And I'm like, well, the best way to fix that is to hit them first. But then I get in trouble by the wife and the baby mama, and like, you can't teach her that because she'll get kicked out of school. And I'm like, so she's supposed to just get her ass beat? And then they was like, no,
yes,
you
you're
have
supposed
to
to get whooped on, and then you go tell.
Right. And she was like, no, you have to put in the fact that, they need to explain to the teacher what's going on. I said, I don't know how many fights y'all been into, but don't nobody like, I'm going to beat your ass.
Hold on.
I'm going to let you go tell the teacher as soon as I'm done.
Yeah, no. See, I'm old school with it, man. I told my son that I'm gonna have his back on any type of situation that pops off. If somebody has the intent to hurt you, don't sit there and take it. And
no,
and it gets to the point where that's what they want you to do.
Applies, though.
Yeah, because in West, my son goes to West Bloomfield School District, and they don't play that at all. You know what I'm saying? As you know, they will suspend both, they will expel you, all that. They don't play the fighting. But a young boy just recently tripped my son and then like stepped on him, right? And my son did what he had to do. And when he did what he had to do, the teachers was upset. They had peer mediation with the social worker, et cetera, but it was caught on camera that he did it to my son. So my son didn't get in trouble. The boy got suspended. But it's a situation where he has to come to us first. He has to come to us first. How can you stop somebody from tripping you and then stepping on you multiple times to come to you? You can't do that.
Exactly.
You just can't. So
it doesn't make sense to me, man.
It's just
but how do you integrate that teaching on top of the rules, regulations, the laws that we have now? That's the problem.
It's real easy.
I grew up on
fuck that.
What's that? Well, here's one thing I will admit. Here's one thing I will admit.
I
When
thought
you're
he
in
had
a
something to say.
situation, what these kids got to realize, see, kids don't think when they do something stupid and they know they're about to get hurt. All right, so you're going to call the police, right? Cool. I got enough time to really do some damage before they get here. So I don't know if you want to, because if I'm going to go to jail, I might as well
I'm
make
make
it worth it.
I'm make
Right?
it worth it.
So if a kid, I just feel like some of these parents where the kid be like, I'm gonna call the police. All right, well, let me change my clothes. Let me make sure I wear something nice so I can go in there and be comfortable. Because it takes about 5 to, depending on what city, to 20 minutes for them to get here. That's more than enough time what I need to do before they get here. More than enough time. Because you gonna remember, and kids, and when you do that and when you use those threats, you change your whole life. Number one, you ain't gonna be with your parents no more. They're gonna take you away.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you're gonna be in a foster home.
Mm-hmm.
Number three. Number three, the reason I named, okay, well, you're gonna call them, but you're not thinking of what can happen right now until they get here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have teleporters. So
Facts.
and then depend, how things are now, what the world is and all these differences we got and racial profile and all that, depending on where you at, it can be real bad for you and your family, all that stuff. So you just got to do what you got to do. And then not only on top of that, if you do go to jail, you end up risking your job, your career, because you're sitting in a prison. Well, not prison, holding cell, whatever they put you in. Then you got to go through fines and all that stuff. But the kids got to realize you do more damage causing the police because you're going to change your whole life.
Hey,
You're gonna change, I want my daddy back. Well, you can't get him back because you called the police on him, so you got to stay away from him. So,
hey, listen, I was one of them kids that had to learn the hard way, dog. And I am a firm believer of sometimes the hard way is the best way. You don't want them to completely, hit the floor, but sometimes they got to learn the hard way. However, certain situations, I'm not letting them, they can try it. Whose phone you going to use? I bought all this shit. This shit mine. You live in my house, you're going to stay by my rules. Same rules my parents gave me, I apply to my kids. I ain't had nobody tell me my kids acted a fool at their house. School is not like, oh, you know what, that is the worst. Your kid is an asshole. None of that.
Yeah. Somebody know you.
Hey.
Friend with the GAC primary
Okay.
growing up, fighting schools or whatever. Friends nowadays, bro, school. Yeah, schools with the guns. That's a whole nother story, man. We just had an incident here in Michigan and Oxford, man. And now these days, like in my situation, if my son does something, I got things I can take, right? Game, phone, certain amount of clothes, this and that. But when you dealing with mass shootings in the school, you can't just really punish with the phone because if something happened, and you took the phone, how you gonna reach your kid? And then you think the worst, right? So it different, a lot of different situations are. You got to really think when you're disciplining your kids, and especially now compared to back then. From my understanding, all this stuff used to happen anyway. It's just that now we in this connected environment, we're able to see all this stuff unfold right now.
Right. And see, that's the thing though, man. The kids these days, you know what I'm saying? And I get what Kennedy is saying. He's right. You know what I'm saying? Kids have taken that shit to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? You can't scrap with somebody and then, all right, well, we scrap, we got it out the way, and then you good. You scrap with somebody, you about to fight, or you're gonna get shot, you're gonna get stabbed, you're gonna get jumped. It's not like it used to be where it used to be a one-on-one. And even when you were getting ready to get jumped, you had your boys too. You know what I'm saying? You can call your boys. Be like, yo, I'm about to get jumped. Let's go try to, big ass fight. And then a week later, it's done. Now, jump somebody if you want to. Now you got to worry about the whole
or even have a fair fight. Have a fair fight if you want to. If you win. No, what I'm saying is 1-on-1, y'all fight, right?
Right.
Fair game. No, now these days, they ain't gonna let it go. Oh, okay, you beat me? Okay, I'll be back. Then you end up getting killed afterwards. You can't just learn from it, just like you learn from all the beatings that everybody used to get. Not me, but everybody else used to get. I was bad.
I can't get over the fact he ain't never get no whoopings, bro. That's crazy.
Because all my mom had to do was take away the game. That was my life. I was like, oh no, please no. I'm good. I was good the rest of my life.
Yeah, see, I got my ass whooped and my shit taken.
So you got the
With,
double
hey,
whammy.
look, with no return date. They wasn't like for 2 weeks you're on punishment. It was like your ass is whooped, and then when I come back, all this shit is gone. And then one day it may be back, or I may not see this shit again for a year. I was good, either way, I may do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? But you're right, man. I mean, shit is different with that whole situation. But that's another thing that I can point out that's different, right? Back
Mhm.
then, when we fought, we fought. The only people that knew was people that attended the fighting through word of mouth.
Mhm.
Now, if you fight, somebody got it on camera.
Mhm.
Somebody gonna talk shit. Somebody's gonna blow it all out of proportion, and that's how it gets worse. So social media has a lot to deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to Mo earlier. Facebook, when it first came out, I couldn't get on it. You had to be in school, enrolled, and part of a college to even get on Facebook. And I guess at the time I didn't spend enough time trying to figure out if WC3 was the one that's gonna get me on the Facebook. Austin didn't give a shit. But I had Black Planet and MySpace back then, you know what I'm saying? So I was good. And then graduated to Crush Spot for a little bit. But now everything that you do is on Facebook, it's on some type of social media, man. You can't get away with shit. However, on the flip side, there's no discipline for the
None.
shit that's done either, because you can't hit nobody. You can't
Yeah.
take too much away, or I'm gonna call somebody and say, "Oh, social services, they're not letting me eat. Oh, I have raggedy clothes." Like, no, that's a punishment. Not
Yeah.
taking the food away, but as far as the clothes, I'm gonna put you in some bummy clothes. Ain't nothing worse than sending somebody to school to have their ego torn down because they're not as fly as they claim to be. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the J's like they said they did. All that shit was taken away. That means it wasn't yours to begin with. Somebody bought that for you. You can't do that these days.
And you got Lavorce. He said they can't let it go because everybody records everything, so it's a consistent
Right.
reminder of
Right. Exactly
you
what you
getting beat
said.
down. I get it. I
Facts.
get it. But what happened to morals though? What happened to respect? You know what I'm
But
saying?
He's
that
talking
shit was
foreign subject.
taken from us. It wasn't that we don't teach it. It's taken from us. Right? Because nobody physically, we can still whoop ass if we want to, but they made it illegal to whoop ass. So that shit's taken from us. You know what I'm saying? You being a tattletale back then was a problem.
Oh
Now you're
yeah.
teaching them to be a tattletale. There is no way of figuring out what you're supposed to do in life. You're expecting somebody else to do it for you. Right? I can't figure it out, or such and such is being me. Let me go tell. Let's see what they have to say. Let me see what I can do. Back then,
Well,
somebody was being mean to you. Like, it's either, okay, well, we're going to have to scrap it out, or I just don't mess with you no more. Simple as that.
yeah.
And it's the same. The crazy thing, nothing has really changed with that. Nobody likes to be cut off cold turkey the way you just don't talk to them no more.
Mm-hmm.
People want
Yeah.
to feel needed and important, and loved, right? You cut somebody off cold turkey, they're like, yo, man, I thought we was cool. We don't talk no more. I was like, no, I don't fuck with you no more. You snitched on me, or you constantly fucking with me, so I'm done.
And
People
that that
hate that
that
more
goes
than
back to
anything.
the whole social media thing because well, let me read on this comment. Can't even do that these days because it hurts their feelings. They can't deal with that
Facts.
letdown. Kids are soft. That's
Facts.
true.
Yeah.
That's
Kids are
true.
soft as
You
fuck.
raising nothing but some a-holes, little sensitive assholes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, back to the whole social media thing. When we grew up, man, like Ralph said, I think my first iteration of how I understood, I didn't even know what it was Black Panther. I was dating this girl, Black Planet. I said, well, I don't know what I said.
Black Planet. I won't gonna say nothing though.
And I think something happened, and I was dating this girl, or I was dating this girl, and they said something about Ramon. You was on Black Planet. I can't even say it.
Black
Black
Planet.
Planet. Because I
And them
keep thinking of
shits.
Captain Planet for some odd reason.
What?
He's a hero.
Break pollution down to zero.
Boy, I tell you, give him a foot, they take him out.
You
Oh
feel
yeah,
me?
you gotta finish it off.
Don't even worry about it. Mhm.
And the whoever I was with, they said something about me on Black Planet, and I didn't understand what it was, so I didn't too much care about it. And luckily, it was back then, whatever happened, because you do that now, it go viral, and then next thing you know, you on the news, compared to then. But I think because when we were growing up, when the social media was coming on the scene, we were in high school, like you said, Facebook was only a college thing. And
Mhm.
Facebook was the biggest smoke too. Like when you were done with Black Planet, and then I think after Black Planet it was Moco Space, and Moco Space was, that was in my prime with me horn. I ain't gonna hold you up.
Moco Space was back page for some people.
I tell you what though, that my wing man, wing girl used to be my homegirl Shanita, and she used to put me on these girls on Moco Space. And I used to get them and get on and have them come to the crib, and that used to be it. So, but that's a whole nother thing. But
that's the differences now, because now
now you talking to bots. I'm gonna tell y'all this story. This is funny. One of my business trips, I was with one of my guys, right? And we were in Saudi Arabia, and somebody messaged him on Skype, and in Saudi Arabia, women don't have rights, right? So you can't talk to them, otherwise you go to jail. You they don't have lines. So there's like at McDonald's, there's a men's line and there's a family line. Women don't get the rights to have a line. The only time you can talk to a woman is if you're doing business with them, if they're over the counter. And that's it. That's all you get. Otherwise, you go to jail for everything else, or you get publicly beaten when you're there. So, but it had me so scared because when I wanted to travel there, even when I went to get my passport, it had warnings in Saudi Arabia and this and that and the whole thing in the media outlet. And when I went there, it was not like what they said. It was so beautiful there. The people were beautiful, all that stuff. But the guy I was with was at a hotel, and you can't deal with women, can't talk to women, they're always covered. Even in the movies like Fast and Furious, I think it was 6, they had a scene where it was an action scene and the girl was hanging across the car and her stomach was showing. They blocked that out where you can't see her stomach. It's crazy. And even the Nike signs, they had a guy, he was doing the muscles on a poster, and on the poster, all his skin was blocked out. You couldn't do anything. And I'm like, this is crazy. So they're not allowed to have movie theaters there. So it's hard to do a lot of stuff there. But anyway, go back to my story. So, but that gives you the concept of it, because wives are back at home, right? Well, he wasn't married, but so all I can do is hopefully reach my wife because of the time differences and talk to her. But the guy on the other hand, no girlfriend, no nothing. So he's looking for something. He looking up Tinder and then the girl reached out to him. So what happened was I guess the girl they were talking, he was doing stuff on camera, and then the camera cut off. And then he sent them a threat, and with the video of him doing stuff, and it said, hey, if you don't send us this money, I'm gonna send this to all your family members, this and that. So he on there doing some wild stuff. The guy captured it, and he oh my gosh, he run down to my room. He like, Mo, so I'm laughing my ass off, right? I'm like, why would you do that in the camera to somebody you don't know? So he like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, hey, they just got to see it, because what's them to say? You pay them. And
they still
got the video.
Yep.
So I guess your mama, your daddy, your coworkers, all of them just got to show what you know. And they going, you better name your little series that you did on the camera Backyard Boogie 6, because they ain't get this money.
This motherfucker boy, I tell you.
I'm just saying. Everybody is snitching on everybody because they feel the need to consistently record your business. That's true. That's true, Tony.
Recording is
That's
snitching,
absolutely
bro.
true.
Recording is snitching. Flat out.
I mean, look what they got to deal with now, right? With the whole Tekashi 6ix9ine thing. Of the whole telling everybody he's scot-free. To be honest with you, I'm surprised nobody ain't got to him yet.
Yeah.
He being watched by too many people, man. Whoever get him, they gonna know who got him. That's why. That's why.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing though. Anyway. On the flip side though, right? You talk about how we record everything, right? Everybody record everything now. I am happy that back then they didn't have the same, we didn't have
I'm about
the same
to get
shit.
to that. Oh man, I want to hear y'all story.
Because all right, so everybody knows me and Moan have always drove like we got infinite lives, right?
Oh yeah, we got 9 lives back then.
So I got a video camera for my pops. We on the lodge with it back in 2003.
Oh, no, hold on. We need to make this clear.
We've been on the lodge with it.
We've been on the lodge with it. All that stuff that
A
y'all
lot
recording.
of people in here that don't know what that means. But in Detroit, the lodge is a freeway, and they caught some kids doing donuts.
No, the lodge was our Autobahn. That's what that was too.
Wasn't it though? God,
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck we was going downtown
All that
somewhere.
stuff that they doing right now, we
Yeah.
been did that.
Oh,
We
been
you know,
doing
that.
I can't say too much, but everything you saw on the camera, we probably did that plus more.
Oh, I know we did. I know we did from the 2 times we got our cars impounded. But
Mhm.
either way, so I got a video camera and I'm fucking getting it. I'm at 120 on the lodge. I'm dipping between cars. And
Do it
we
fast,
recorded on the
do it
camera, right?
furious.
The difference is it's not on social media. Ask me where that tape is. I have no fucking clue. Right?
What kills me though is, and I'll let you elaborate on this because I know you're trying to say something. But what kills me is, why do you feel like the need to put it on social media so you can get caught and go to jail? That's what killed
Right.
me. That ain't
Clout.
sweet.
That's close. That's close.
Right? That and that's
But that
exactly what
ain't
it was.
sweet. Like, why would you want to do something and then you push yourself to the point you can't do it no more?
Look what I'm doing, Jimmy.
Hey,
No.
but see, you know what though? They were recording me because once again, back then people would call me Dar, right? It was something that my boy Josh came up with, and Dar stood for driving all reckless. And then people started coming up with other acronyms as dangerous ass Ralph.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
works
So I was in between traffic at 120, my boy's recording and not thinking shit of it, right? We get back to the crib, we laugh about it, we chill, we eating pizza, blah, blah, blah. My pop's coming to the house like he's Thor, right? This mother coming to the house, I hear my name yelled, and I'm like, well, I know that's not a happy yell. So I wonder what this is about, because I ain't did shit. In my eyes, I have done nothing, right? And I'm like, damn, I went downtown with my boys, we back at the crib, we chilling. I didn't drink nothing, I didn't break nothing. What the fuck is this about? So I'll go upstairs, and no, I don't still drive like that. You're lying. I don't.
Put him
Don't
out
listen to
there,
Alex.
baby.
I don't know.
Lying.
Auto drive last year.
That's different. That was during the Dream Cruise. That's an excuse weekend. Okay.
Because if
Anyway.
y'all haven't seen, hold on, if you haven't seen my video, I got a video with me and Ralph and Micah at the Dream Cruise, and he was stabbing out then. So Ralph wanted to tell you he ain't doing nothing. Go check out my video on YouTube.
Right.
You see him doing something.
This is perfect. This is perfect. You see what this is? Snitching. Y'all motherfuckers are snitching. What?
I want you to tell the truth.
Finish the story. Finish the story.
Anyway, so I didn't think I did anything, right? And apparently, one of his boys was one of the people I cut off, right? Everybody knew what I drove because I got him through my dad's job. So he was like, yo, your son is out here clowning. Naturally, I'm not going to tell my dad I'm out here clowning because he's going to take my car. That's not about to happen. So he was like, what's this about you on the Lodge Freeway doing 120? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Somebody lying. And he was like, so such and such tells me that he saw you. You cut him off and you were moving so fast he lost you in traffic really fast. So it was like, I don't know. Maybe he got stuck behind the truck. I don't know. Wasn't me. I wasn't clowning. And he was like, all right, let me find out. Let me fucking find out. Wasn't worried about it. Completely forgot that we had just recorded the whole damn thing. Left the camera in the basement. We took off. I'm back on the lodge with it, doing 120. My dad calls me on my Nokia phone, not flip, not color screen, Nokia phone.
Oh, Snake Nokia?
Yeah, Snake Nokia.
Nokia.
Yeah, you put a snake on the phone.
And I pick up the phone like, what's up, Dad? How you doing? He was like, bring your ass home right the fuck now. And I'm like, hey, I gotta drop y'all off. I gotta go home.
Did he ever?
Oh,
I didn't know what was going on.
I gotta go home. And it was like, wow. I was like, my pops told me I gotta come home right now. I don't know what the fuck it is. I gotta come home right now. I drop everybody off, and my dad calls me. I'm right around the corner. He's like, where the fuck are you at? And I'm like, I'm pulling into the driveway. He said, good. When you come in the house, put your keys on the table because you're done driving. And I'm like, what? What do you mean I'm done driving? So now I'm pulling up real slow. I'm like, this thing about to take my car. I'm out. I'm gonna bust a U-turn. And he was like, try to back out of this driveway and I'll fill that fucking car with holes. Right? My dad always threatened to shoot me. Okay. Always. He always threatened to shoot me because I took martial arts. He came to a couple competitions. I guess he thought I was just gonna randomly try to kick his ass. I've always been scared of my parents. I'm scared of my mama to this day. Could I physically do something to harm them? Possibly, but would I? No, because I've got respect for my elders and my parents.
Well, and
I
that's the
walk in the
difference,
house,
right?
right? You know what I'm saying? I walk in the house, I throw the keys on the table. I'm like, man, what is your problem? He's like, go downstairs. I walk downstairs and I hear the video playing. I hear my boy Dio be like, oh shit, he almost hit that fucking car. 3 steps down. I'm like, well, there goes my fucking car. He took my car for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, because you had to drive, right? We were old enough, right? So
Yeah, I had to drive because I had to get back and forth to work. And he was like, next time I catch you driving like that, you know that's
I'm gonna
your
kill
ass.
you.
Right.
That's all I remember.
Well, then, you know, I got older, had my own money, you couldn't take my car. However, I may need you to help me get my car out of the impound. This is when the story of me and Moan comes into place. We are headed from Detroit to Troy, and our car is going to my sister's house.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go.
I'm talking about when I tell you me and Moan are wide the fuck open, the governor is trying to slow our cars down, right?
What the fuck
I'm
was you
talking about
driving?
we're like,
driving?
because the car didn't want to go no faster,
What were
right?
you driving?
I think at the
Ralph had
time
an
of,
Escape,
I
and
think I
I
was
think
driving
I
an
had a
Escape.
500.
Yeah, I was driving Escape the first time. Yeah, Moan was driving a 4 or 500. 110, 120, right? We are fucking flying. I'm trying to tell you, I remember this shit to the T. At 12 Mile, right? We are wide the fuck open. I look over to my left, and there's a state trooper getting onto the freeway at the exact same speed. And I'm like, well, I can't tell him I'm not speeding because I'm already doing 120. I'm terrified. Absolutely fucking terrified. So he points to me and he's like, get the fuck over. I can read his lips. He's behind Moan. Moan's already getting over. I'm like, well, either he's going to run or I'm going to run. I'm not running. So hopefully he runs. He didn't run either.
Well, I didn't run because he flashed his lights at me like, you better not run. I'm like, all right,
Bro,
I get over.
this is the worst part, right? We get pulled over. And this motherfucker here, Viz was with us. Viz said it right there. The state boy says, what is your problem? Why the fuck are you driving like that? Moan says, oh, we are just
playing
fooling
around. No, Ralph was so mad. But you know what's funny though? We had a trunk full of alcohol, and they didn't check it.
My shit was full tilt.
They did not check it.
And it was open.
Yeah, and they were open. If they'd have checked that, that'd have been it. They did not check it. So either me being stupid saved us, or they were stupid.
I think he was mad. He was so fucking mad, right? So he
just fooling around.
He asked Moan that shit. Moan says we're just fooling around. He comes to my car. I'm trying to line everything up. I'm like, all right, I know Moan gave him something good that we was in a hurry to get somewhere. So he gets to the car. I got my little cousin in the back, Carla, and her brother Peanut, and her friend. And he's like, what the fuck is your problem? I said, yo, we late. I'm trying to get my cousins back to my sister's house. And, you know, I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention to my speed. He was like, your boy already told me I was just fucking around. I'm like, he did what? He was like, yeah, you probably should have figured this out. And I'm like, wait, he said what? He walks away from the car, bruh. Both my little cousins in the back are in fucking tears, dying laughing. And they're like, nigga, you are going to jail.
And
You
guess
are
what
about
didn't
to
happen?
go to jail.
We did not go to jail.
Did they take
We
the
didn't go
car?
to jail. We didn't go to jail. And after he told me what Moan said, I was like, yeah, we were fooling around. I was hoping that you was gonna buy that, but clearly he had ruined it. So he chuckled a little bit. He was like, listen, I gotta take your car. I gotta take both of your cars. He was like, but because y'all didn't fight me or didn't start cussing, I'm gonna let y'all walk home. We on
you missing the part. He said because your man's told the truth too. We didn't go to jail.
That part too. Listen, I was trying to get the fuck out of there. Okay, I was trying to get out of there. I was not trying to
I got one for you. So me, Ralph, and Dre, we were in the car, right?
Hey,
we were absolutely fried. We were drunk, right? So Dre, and I hope you in here, dog, because I want you to elaborate because I'm about to tell the whole story. So what happened was, it was about 2 or 3 in the morning, and Dre decides to pull up at the light. We at the light. We the first ones at the light. the police is next to us at the light. Dre, for some odd reason in the universe, decides that I'm about to blow this light.
Right
Me
next
and
to the
Ron turns around like, dog, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm trying to get y'all home. You didn't see the police right here next to you? So he was like, no. Oh my God. All right. So Ron came up like, hey, just die. Just lay down there, close your eyes and die. And let Dre figure that out. so we sat there, we in the car, we passed out or act like we was passed out. And the cop pulled up like, you didn't see me? And Dre, he's smooth with it. I can hold you up. He was like, look, man. He was like, I didn't. He said, and I blew the light because look, he was like, he said, I've been drinking a little bit, but I'm just trying to get them home. You see them passed out here. The house is right around the corner. He was like, I'm trying to get home too because I'm feeling it, but I'm more so better than they are. And literally the police was like, he thought about it and he goes, all right, man, don't do that no more and go home. And I couldn't believe that worked.
Bruh, I had it all planned out in my head.
I couldn't
just knew
believe
it was
that
gonna
worked.
work.
We got out of that.
In my drunk head, it worked. I didn't think it was gonna work in real life.
Yeah, well, I think the police was like, hey, look, man, I'm not about to carry them two big fat people and put them in my car because they can't walk or they incoherent. So that's what I thought was going through his mind. And they didn't feel like it.
Now, there's another thing that's different though, right? We got away pretty much with drinking and driving. Who the hell is that?
I don't know who that is, but whoever you are, what up? And I hope this is not bad. Because I don't
Nah,
understand.
don't click
what
on
that
it.
is.
Don't click on it. I don't know who that
Already
is.
clicked on it.
They look like spam or virus. Who the hell is Pikachu? That's what I'm reading right there. But either way, that's one of the things that's different, right? Because oh my God, that's a whole nother story.
You almost ran over a cop?
Bruh, listen. It was a mistake. Okay.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
It's hard for me to believe.
It was a huge mistake, right? My car was overheating. Okay. The only way it wouldn't overheat is if I was driving because my cooling fan stopped working.
Let me put this back up so you can explain yourself. All right, go ahead, Dad.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna do that shit. So in order for my car not to overheat, my car physically had to be moving. Well, we standing in traffic near Bill Isle, and this car is in the empty lane, and she blow through it. I'm like, oh well, shit. I'm about to follow her. I didn't notice the 3 or 4 cop cars that was following her, so I cut them off to try to follow her because my car was overheating. Well, naturally, she gets pulled over, and I pull up behind her and I stop. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to turn the car off. Bruh, they opened up her door and another cop came from the other side and kicked her, literally, hands on the roof, and kicked her out the other side of the car. Then another cop came up and I'm like, well, shit. I didn't know that was a cop because I almost ran that dude over, so I had to slam on brakes. And he was like, he was with them too. And I'm like, whoa. We wasn't with nobody. We was just down here having a good time. My car overheating. He's like, get the fuck out of the car. He puts me in cuffs. He puts Visuals in cuffs. And this is the first time where I actually argue with the police officer ever. He pulls me out the car and he says, what the fuck are you doing? I said, bruh, I'm not doing shit. Look at my fucking car. It's overheating. You don't see the coolant spilling out? And Visual like, hey man, shut the fuck up. We're gonna go to jail. I'm like, nah, man, that's some bullshit. No, my car overheating. It's about to blow the fuck up, man. Can at least turn the car off? And Visual's like, shut up. I'm like, no, man, my car about to overheat. It's
He's so stubborn.
No. And it wasn't until my man's was like, oh shit, your car is overheating. I said, the only way it doesn't overheat is when I move. I said, that's the only reason I jumped in the line and followed that car. I didn't know y'all were chasing her. So about 15 minutes go past, he lets me out of the cuffs and he tells me to slow it down. By that time, my car's fucked. Cylinder head was gone. The blew a gasket. Like the car wasn't really going nowhere. I still limped it home, which ruined the motor completely, which is still sitting, I think, in my dad's backyard. But that's what happened with that. But once again, that's like I said, that's the difference, right? Back then, we pretty much got away with drinking and driving and almost hit a cop. But now the new thing is, if they see you with your phone in your hand, you going to jail. or you're getting a ticket.
Well, it depends on it's certain cities, right, that has those type of laws. I think there's one city if you ride with a passenger, well, where we stay at, if you have a passenger or have multiple passengers, they have a right to pull you over to figure out what's going on or something like that. It's in one of these cities,
What?
Ryan. Yeah, so I don't want to name it because I don't want to give away my location, but we in Michigan and it's a city that does that. You know, or if you eat something in the car, you know, you can get pulled over and get a ticket.
Yeah,
You know,
Are you serious?
oh yeah,
You can get an
yeah,
eating
man.
while driving ticket?
yeah,
Yeah, because it's a
Yeah.
That's a
distraction
hell
on
of
the
a
It's a
road.
diet,
distraction,
boy.
bro.
Let me tell
It's a
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
But
a
it's
hell of a diet.
but real shit though. It's a legit distraction though. I mean, you know, I've seen from my father being a police officer and doing traffic investigations. He's I've seen some reports and people think that eating or drinking while driving, well, I'm just talking about a regular coffee, isn't that dangerous. But the consequences that come with you taking your eyes off the road for just that quick second, it's life or death. Life or death. People go through windshields, when seatbelt to cut their heads off, looking like a fatality.
Bruh.
So it sounds like it's something simple, but knowing some of the shit that's happened based off the fact that somebody was just sitting here with their Starbucks like for a quick second, it makes sense on the
That's
law.
bullshit.
It went through the law passed.
Yeah,
So
Man,
you got to be careful.
it makes sense, bro.
bullshit.
It
Okay.
makes sense, bro. It
I
makes a
hear what
lot
you're
of
saying.
sense.
You're saying that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mo, you agree that makes sense?
It does to a certain extent, yeah.
Okay,
But you
so
got
then they
somebody
should
like me
take-
that know how to drive.
Then they should take all GPS out of cars,
Well, not entirely.
all navigation.
No,
Because your
not
navigation
entirely.
sits over here, right? So that means
Not
naturally
entirely.
you're supposed to
Not
look
entirely.
over and look
Because
up.
no, because
Nah.
you have the option to use voice, so you don't have to look at the GPS. You know, turn left, the one that you mute because it's irritating.
But that's
That
what I'm
portion.
saying, dog. If that's the case, they shouldn't allow you to have the option to mute the shit. You shouldn't have a physical map that shows up on the screen.
We'll put it
Because
this
all
way:
that's a
it's a
distraction.
lot of stuff that don't make sense, right? You got Google Maps, right? And they
Uh-huh.
take a picture of everything. But if you own a certain property, you can't take a picture and get sued. Does that make sense? Why anybody sue Google? Take a picture of my house.
Because Google got that bread.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it's different strokes for different folks.
That's bullshit. I tell you what, somebody pulled me over because I'm drinking something in my car. I'm like, sir, you're drinking and driving. I'm like, yeah, a pop. You can't do that. I'm like, tell your mamas
I
you
know
can't do
Pepsi
that.
was a crime.
Right. Tell your mamas you can't do that. Man, I would drink my drinking goddamn
It
car. It
is
ain't alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm
So we touched on discipline. We touched on social media. What's another one that's completely different from when we grew up?
Flicks used to have to get a actual VHS, and now you can do it off of your phone.
I ain't gonna hold you. I thought you were about to say porn.
That's what I'm talking about.
He said flicks.
Oh, okay.
I got all them DVDs I used to watch right here in the palm of my hand.
Well,
No,
hey,
I mean-
that's sad that that's the first thing that comes.
I see what you did there.
No pun
First thing they
intended.
come. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
That was
No,
that
I
first
mean,
thing.
there's a lot of things that are different from back then than it is now. There's a lot of leeway that kids have now that we didn't have the luxury of having back then. And it's, to me, it's not really a luxury. You know what I'm saying? I feel that it is a hindrance, if anything, right? We are raising a whole generation of children that soft, tattletale, disrespectful little shits. It's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? There's a handful of us that doesn't mind disciplining our kids the way they should be, in my eyes. You know, all those old psychology says, if you whip your kids, it's child abuse. Well, guess what? I got abused if that's the case, and I turned out just freaking fine. I
Yeah.
didn't finish college, but I got a pretty successful career in the job. You know what I'm saying? I've gone places, I've done things that a lot of other people that went to school for 8 years probably will never or haven't done. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's all because of my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? This day and age, that's completely different, man. Like I said, everyone now relies on everyone else to make their own decisions when you should be able to make your own decisions yourself.
All right. Well, hey, with that being said, we are past our hour.
Shit.
You know, so
Talking this shit
so
forever.
on another note, again, if you haven't saw us earlier today, we would like for you to like, subscribe, so check. You know, like, subscribe. You know, get with us. You know, we'd love to have you. We'd like to bump us up there because we would like to get, you know, monetized one day where we can actually make some money doing this. You know, and we
Facts.
would like the further reach of that. And then on another note, you know, we always got to do our shout outs, right? So we have our
Booty
page.
Talk 23.
But
Watch the booty go.
so we like to you know, elaborate on all of our friends. There's a lot of everything here. So whenever you guys get here, there's services from Zoe, personal training, to Lauren's candles and gift boxes and cups, to Brittany's what do you call it, seasoning for her stuff. Then you got T, and we got a DJ. We got LaForce with his gaming channel, Melder clothing line, Solo, Max and Us and Stubbs. He's doing his thing. So make sure you guys check him out. Another thing too, we just started. We got a merch store coming. So on our page, if you go there, you know, we kind of got a coming soon sign because we got to get it together. We got to get together. We got to do our thing, and hopefully we have some dope merch. Ralph, Zoe, and I, we're going to pick between different designs, different things we're going to put on shirts and posters and whatever the case may be, whatever merch we decide to sell. So this is something that we're going to do today, that we started today, and we're going to elaborate throughout the week. Behind the scenes of what we're going to do and, you know, what we're going to sell and that type of thing. And you know, to come check us out. We're going to try to do something that's interesting. And if you guys got ideas, tell us. What would you like to see on a shirt? One of the shirts, of course, is going to have Any and Everything podcast. If you guys like, you know, anime, if you guys like special quotes, if you guys like certain designs, send us a message on our webpage. Send us, we have our contact list here, right? So you guys should be able to reach us, you know, on our Discord, on our Twitter, you know, on our email here. So at any time, come do the thing. Come check us out.
Come do the thing.
But yeah, but other than that, what you guys got?
Yo, listen. So not the next episode, right? And me and the guys were talking about it. Not the next episode, but the one after. All right. So you got one more episode in between. The next one. It's going to be a real special episode, right? We plan on getting some of the core members of our circle in the podcast, right? You see a lot of them in our chat boxes. You see Vicious, you see ASW Gaming. So that's Dre. You've got Vizzle.
T,
you know, we
Mar.
got T. We want to get, you know, our core group, our friends, and there's a couple people that haven't been here yet that I'm hoping can join us. I know Sundays doesn't work for everyone, but I'm hoping that we can get our boy Gad in here. We got a homie named Tony that's supposed to come in here. Hopefully, you know, these are, like I said, this is the group that made us who we are, right? A lot of these situations we wouldn't have gone through and experienced these things without them. So I think it'll be important to have them in here. And plus, when I tell you that's an episode you won't want to miss, when you get all of us together, the hardest thing for me, I think that's the biggest thing, is going to be a way to try to separate all of us from talking shit for a
and laughing the whole episode.
hour,
so good
right?
luck.
But
I
I
don't care, bro.
guarantee you, it's some shit you're not going to want to miss, okay? The shit is going to be fire. Yo, and
Let that
I'm
booty
not gonna
talk.
lie, Vizzle,
No,
listen,
more stupid.
they don't do that here, bro. They don't do that here. Like, they don't sell. No, listen, living in North Carolina is make me realize Detroit is such a special place, because when you go to the gas station here, you either get one or two things. Well, one or three things. You either get gas, snacks, or smokes. You can't get no CDs. You can't get no DVDs.
No bootleggers out there?
You can't get nothing, bro. When I tell you I miss home so much, oh my God, I miss home so
You can't
much.
get over the fence Secret 6.
No,
you
you
can't
can
get
get backdoor Boogie 28. None of that. None of that is available at your friendly gas station. You also can't walk out of that, boy, and somebody like, yo, I got them louds. I got that loud pack. You know, none of that. You know, in Detroit, you can get everything from the gas station, from clothes to flicks to drugs, you might even be able to get a Subway here and there. But here, you getting gas, and that's it for the most part. You getting just gas. And I ain't talking about the smoke gas either, man. It's bullshit. Either way, we did hit our hour. We usually run into about hour and 15 minutes talking shit at the very end. I do want to thank everyone that came, watched, kicked it with us. The new people that slid in there, you know what I'm saying? Samantha came in all the way from
Yeah,
Germany.
good to see
Love
y'all.
it.
That's what's
Love
up.
it. You know, Tony came in. You know, he was here, I think, for a couple seconds in the last episode because he was working, but you know, he's got some time off. You know, anybody and everybody that came in to join us, man, I really appreciate it. I thank y'all for rocking with us. I thank y'all for hanging with us. And hopefully we can continue bringing the shit that we bring. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can keep it entertaining.
Boy.
On the flip side, though, I guess, you know, I ain't got nothing else to say. I just see you motherfuckers next
good.
time. You know what I'm saying? I will
I'm
see all
good.
you jackasses next time. You know, because most of y'all that are in the comments are my friends, and if you're a friend with me, that means you're an asshole. Because I'm an asshole.
Definitely,
You know what I'm saying?
definitely,
And I love you all. This is
definitely.
why
He's
we're friends.
definitely a huge
Yeah, that's
asshole.
something me and Zoe can agree on.
Yeah, yeah. There you
This
go.
is why we're friends. Hey, but guess what? Him and Zoe can agree on it, but guess who's my friend? Those two. Which means what? They're assholes.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm a whole ass, not an asshole.
Goddamn right. See,
You
I knew
are.
my man would be with me. I knew my man would be with me though. You know, Captain Sweater Hoodie over here, he won't admit it, but he an asshole too.
He's a sniper with it. He's a sniper with it.
You're right. You're right. I sit back and pick. Down. There we go.
Goddamn
But all right,
asshole.
You know
y'all.
what? That's gonna be on one of our
Oh.
shirts. You in that pose every time you do that, and we
It's
gonna
gonna be
cartoon you.
It's gonna be a hoodie with him in a hoodie, because that's all he wears is hoodies. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and end this
That was a
shit.
good one. All right, then, man.
All right, man. I
I'll let
appreciate
y'all. I
y'all,
see y'all.
man.
Yep.